4-color blade list, and his opponent, Jeph Foster, Natural Order Bug. No bug.
A card that we have not seen in a little while here on the Star City Games circuit. Natural Order, is a card, there were no Bant decks, there were no Bug decks. It was a card that was very popular around 2 years ago in the Legacy format. Boarding into Natural Order Progenitus was something that was seeing a lot of play, and now it's not seeing much play at all, but Jeph Foster experiencing some success with it. There are more green creatures to sacrifice. Again, Deathrite Shaman is green.
One of the things that we see here, this is a turn 2 Thoughtseize, I believe. But if you saw how messy the board was there, Lou Laskin, awesome guy, but I do think he likes to play messy. It's like his cards are all over the place, he's having a lot of fun. And we see the follow-up with an Inquisition.
Inquisition is going to reveal Jeph Foster's hand. We see an Abrupt Decay, we see a Vendilion Click, we see a Dark Confidant to go along with a Forest and a Tropical Island. Lou also knows the contents of his hand, of course, and we see them on the table. There's a Thoughtseize, a Polluted Delta, and a Brainstorm to go along with a Mystery card. So you can see Lou kind of going through the iterations here of how he wants to set this game up to try to take it down as we are in Game 3 here with about 6 minutes left to play.
And he says, get out of here, Dark Confidant, no bobs for you. Now, Lou just leaves those cards revealed. These players know each other, and that's just kind of one of the ways that Lou rolls.
And we are going to see a main face Brainstorm here. Jeph is going to draw a Dryad Arbor, a Scavenging Ooze, and a Daze. So what he's going to be here, Adrian, is a little bit of Brainstorm luck. He's going to put the 2 cards back, but Brainstorm, of course, at its best when you can shuffle away those cards and play that mini Ancestral.
And Jeph trying to figure out which 2 cards to put back, and then he'll toss back to Lou Laskin.
He does have to do a little bit of information hiding here because there is the Thoughtseize there on Lou's side.
And Lou Laskin draws that Mercadian Masks Brainstorm there.
It's gorgeous.
Fetch land, Polluted Delta, passes the turn.
You see 2 more lands in Lou's hand. You see a Plains and you see a Misty Rainforest as well. So he hasn't drawn anything new and exciting, but Brainstorm can always bring something new to the table as we see Scavenging Ooze there for Jeph Foster.
Scavenging Ooze. Brainstorm. Lou Laskin now hides his hand. I love Lou's style. That's awesome. 3 cards from the Brainstorm. 2 go back. A Braincestral Recall of sorts as the Polluted Delta is going to shuffle away those cards. It's not really like drawing 3 cards, but it sure feels like it.
And of those cards that he drew, he actually drew a Midful of Lands and an Envelop, which is a card that we don't see a ton of. And I'm a little bit surprised to see it here as well, just in their sideboard. Of course, it's a very good card to bring in for the matchup because, of course, the namesake of Jeph Foster's deck, Natural Order, is a sorcery.
Yep.
So to see Envelop joining us in Legacy, it's a card you don't see very often.
I always like to jokingly call this Envelope, which obviously isn't what you would pronounce that as, but just kind of wraps things up, puts it in a nice little package.
It does. It does. And we are going to see Jeph here shuffling Lou's deck. Lou's hand, of course, there is a Thoughtseize. There is the aforementioned Envelop. Almost got me to say Envelope. And lands to go along with another Brainstorm.
Oh. Now, the existence of that Ooze, that's a real card. It's a scary card. And it resolves, it's in play. And now we're going to see a discard checking out his hand. Daze, Abrupt Decay, Vendilion Click. I believe, if I remember correctly, there is a little land on top of Jeff's deck that cannot make mana. I believe it is the Dryad Arbor.
Yep, there will be a Dryad Arbor incoming here. There also will likely be a Scavenging Ooze attack. Not sure if we're going to see any, removal here with the Scavenging Ooze just yet, but he is taking a look there at Lou Laskin's graveyard. Cards that he can remove that are important, of course, are Snapcaster Mage.
Boom! Gain 1 life, +1/+1. In for 3. Now, Jeph Foster returning to favor, leaving the Daze and the Abrupt Decay revealed. Just essentially, both of these players want to win. Neither of them wants to lose. And writing down your opponent's cards takes up time. I think these players have just basically agreed, you know what? I want to win. Do you want to win? I don't want to draw? Okay, well, let's save each other some time.
Yeah. As we do see a Brainstorm here from Lou Laskin, he will do the Braincestral Recall game. Another Brainstorm, Abrupt Decay. We see a Thoughtseize in there as well. There's the Envelop. You know, envelop not looking great right now. I wouldn't be surprised to have him shuffle this away. No threat of a natural order here. 2 instants, one of which is uncounterable in Jeph Foster's hand.
Now, Lou is taking some time to think here, but that's a totally reasonable thing. This is a hard decision about what to keep.
Well, brainstorming ain't easy.
Brainstorm, one of the pieces of glue in this format. Deathrite Shaman hits the table. What you got in that graveyard? Let me see. Let's eat something. I'll eat my Bob. +1 life, +1/+1 counter.
And we do see Jeph take his turn. He's going to draw a card. He's going to send in there with the Scavenging Ooze. Lou Laskin says, I'm not blocking, so you can do whatever you want, Jeph. But I'd prefer if you didn't draw black mana so you can turn that Abrupt Decay. Lou having an Abrupt Decay of his own, Adrian deciding, you know, do I want to kill that Scavenging Ooze? And it looks like he's decided not to. As now we see Jeph deciding what he wants to do.
Look at my graveyard. It's got good stuff in it. It does. It does have good stuff in it. Tarmogoyf.
Now that's a target for an Abrupt Decay.
Right now, the Scavenging Ooze is a 4/4. The Tarmogoyf is a, I see instant sorcery land, and I don't think I see any creatures in the yard currently, so I believe he's a 3/4.
Yeah, we're going to get confirmation on that from our spotter. We'll have our handy-dandy Tarmogoyf die put on the table for you guys, just so that you know how large it is. And we're looking at a 4/5 status here.
I wonder if there's a creature in a graveyard somewhere. Is that a Vendilion
There
click
is
on
a
the top
Vendilion
of
there,
the
yeah.
Jeph Foster's, yep.
So we see Lou shuffle away here with a fetch land. Sacks that Polluted Delta to get a tropical island. He is going to pass back. Deathrite Shaman currently active now. Lou looking at a Brainstorm, an Abrupt Decay, and a Dark Confidant. Time starting to tick down for both players. Lou is starting to get his deck established here with Deathrite Shaman being set up. Brainstorm for card manipulation, and Abrupt Decay will be able to take care of one of these threats through that daze due to its uncounterability.
And he decides to go with... Get out of here. Die, Ooze, die. Now, if you look at Lou Laskin's patience, he could have, at the end of turn, cast that Abrupt Decay by getting rid of both of his fetch lands. But now he gets to keep a fetch land in play and still have a Brainstorm.
Yep.
Very excellent patience from Lou Laskin.
And we do just see Jeph Foster let that happen. It does pass back. Jeph removed the Vendilion click, so Lou changed it out and he said, oh, there is still a creature down there, and the Scavenging Ooze that I just killed, so let's put that back up to a 4/5 Tarmogoyf. And that's what's attacking Lou right now.
Lou fetches. It's going to get a green source and eat the Scavenging Ooze, I believe, here, to gain 2 life and shrink the Tarmogoyf by 1. Green-black, better than green-white. Gets a Bayou. Eats the Ooze. Gain 2, lose 3. Now, it's an interesting question of whether or not he'll cast Brainstorm here. It would not be an optimal Brainstorm, but he is running out of time. Ooh, Deathrite Shaman.
It's another source of damage there for Jeph. Jeph putting up a pretty good fight right now, honestly.
Time is running low. Is that a Tarmogoyf? What did he just draw? I thought it was a green card.
We see him looking over the grave. We see a Dark Confidant. We see a Brainstorm. We have a mystery card here.
Could it be Life from the Loam? It is Life from the Loam.
Okay.
Oh, Doctor.
Life from the Loam, not a bad draw here. He does need to find something to really be able to take care of that Tarmogoyf. Not sure what he's going to be able to do about that, as we do see Life from the Loam now. He's deciding, what other mana am I going to use to cast this with? All right, let's do it with that. He's going to get some lands back. Unsure if he's going to return any wastelands or not. And he does bring a wasteland back, so he can put Jeph into a bit of a wasteland lock here, Adrian. The question is it too late?
Looking for something. Swords to Plowshares, perhaps. There are 4 of them in the deck, though Jeph Foster does have a Daze, so it would require the Deathrite Shaman to tap itself to make mana, or the Wasteland be put in play first. Did not find a Swords to Plowshares.
What he did find with that Brainstorm, however, was a Ponder to go along with a Sword of Feast and Famine and another Deathrite Shaman. Now, of course, he does have some fetch lands in his hand from that Brainstorm, or excuse me, from that Life in the Loam, so he will be able to shuffle away some of the garbage, but again, he does need to find a spot remove spell for this Tarmogoyf. He needs to find one now.
Now, he could start a chump plan with his Deathrite Shamans on this Tarmogoyf, but that's a road that ends quickly, and meanwhile, his opponent has a Deathrite Shaman to be able to stop the Life from the Loam, and also to start eking away at the last few life points that Lou Laskin has.
As we are going to see Deathrite Shaman considering attacking, a little surprising.
I think he's actually removing a land to maybe cast that Dark Confidant in hand.
Okay.
There it is, the land. There's a Deathrite Shaman, and the 1 mana left for a Ponder.
And you saw that he did Wasteland. You see that he did Wasteland that Tropical Island so that his Ponder could not be dazed. So strong play there by Lou, and one of the faster shuffles you're ever going to see with a Ponder.
Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. 2 land he knew he put back. 1 land after it. Away they go. Deathrite Shaman. It's going to eat something. I believe it's going to eat a land in order to make the Abrupt Decay work on the Deathrite Shaman that Lou Laskin has back. And this is going to knock, after the Abrupt Decay, it's going to knock Lou down to, I believe, 1 life. 4/5. In with the Dryad Arbor as well. If the life totals are correct, this will knock Lou down to 1 life. Go to 1.
This is an attack, putting him down to 1. As you guys do see the clock in the middle of the screen there, we're about to be under 1 minute.
Ooh,
Swords
so
to
close.
Plowshares. A very, very good draw here for Lou Laskin. Now this is going to get interesting, because now he's staring down on Deathrite Shaman, who really, really, really wants to deal him those last 2 points of damage, but Jeph Foster doesn't have black mana. Tarmogoyf being problem number 1, Deathrite Shaman Adrian being problem 1A. Dark Confidant being very risque.
Oh boy. Lou's doing what he's got to do. Sadly, are we going to see a pass?
And we are.
There you go. A black source will start the activation of Deathrite Shaman, which Lou would have to use his own. Meanwhile, any of those creatures will win in an attack, but Lou does have a Swords to Plowshares in hand.
Jeph draws his card. Jeph drew. I can't quite make it out. It's definitely a land. It is a tropical island.
Makes him have an action for Daze. Daze is in hand. It's not in play, but they're just helping each other out with keeping cards that are known revealed.
So now we see Jeph analyzing everything here, taking a look at what is in the graveyard. As we see a Daze, Jeff's hand does contain 2 Dazes. You see a Daze face up, of course, that's the one that's in his hand. His mystery card is another Daze as well. And what you're going to see here on turn 0, with Lou Laskin at 1 life, we may see an attack with all the creatures here.
1 creature, 2 creature, 3 creature,
What we might see here, Lou Laskin may be walking him into a trap.
Okay, I think you're going to want to declare your blocks, then swords.
And Jeph Foster says, I'm not sure about that attack
Something
just
feels
yet.
fishy.
Not quite sure about that attack.
Just the Tarmogoyf? Tarmogoyf, Dryad Arbor, and now he's presuming various possible blocks while he figures out what he wants to do. In with just the Tarmogoyf. Conservative, and I think a play that is going to be very, very good for him.
Yeah, I think I like it.
Now, what this means is that he actually is forcing Lou Laskin to block with something because, well, Lou doesn't know that there are 2 dazes there, but the Deathrite Shaman of Lou's will not be able to make mana because Jeph's Deathrite Shaman will force that, or will stop that from happening by targeting the same land.
So now we're going to see Dark Confidant jump in front of that Tarmogoyf.
And he just does it all straight up by itself. He says go.
Now
Lou
we're going to
Laskin,
see...
Swords on Deathrite Shaman.
Yep. So he's taking care of problem 1A, it looks like right now, as you're going to see a hard cast Daze. And you're going to see Lou says, all right, I'll pay for that.
Daze number 2.
Just going to Daze number 2.
Lou is going to say, remove that land. And Jeph can respond by removing the same land himself and stopping the mana gain. I believe he's asking of the judge if that's what happens. Oh, wait, he's got the... yeah, I believe that's what he's asking the judge right now. Yep, I'll remove it myself. No mana for you, Lou. The Source of Plushers does not work.
And now Lou draws his card. Lou draws a Stoneforged Mystic. Lou really needs to fade a Black Source here as we're on turn 1 of extra turns here for you guys in round 13 of 16 of the Star City Games Invitational. I am Cedric Phillips here with Adrian Sullivan. We are in Los Angeles. Lou Laskin, Jeph Foster in extra turns battling it out. Lou at 1, Jeph at a healthy 20. Lou trying to fight the good fight, trying to stay in this game, likely trying to play for the draw here. And just trying to figure out what can I do to stay alive. I have turns 1, 3, and 5 is what Lou's thinking. I need to make it through turns 2 and turns 4. And I have a fetch land, and that's not good when I'm at 1.
Gains 2 life. Lets him go up to 3.
And now a Stoneforged Mystic from Lou Laskin.
Why gain the 2 life? Well, because he can do it right now and the Deathrite Shaman can't stop it.
Yep.
Passes the turn. This also means that that fetch land could actually fetch a land.
As you see, Laskin does search for an Umezawa's Jite. Foster draws his card. Foster draws a Bayou. And he is coming on in. And it looks like that might do it. As you see, Laskin put his Stoneforged Mystic in front of the Tarmogoyf. You see Dried Arbor knock Lou down to 1.
Game.
And Deathrite Shaman cleans it up. Jeph Foster in extra turns of round 13, victorious over Lou Laskin and his 4-color Blade deck.
Right.
Very, very good game.